Joined with Steve Skalge, Executive Director of Productive Alternatives, an agency in Fergus Falls that works with a lot of different folks. It sounds like there may be a 7% cut that's looming from statewide funding. Tell us how this kind of came about and what you're doing and how you're reacting there.
Yes, well, it's kind of it's certainly an unfortunate circumstance and kind of a complex circumstance in a lot of regards. But really, what's happened is that as the providers across the state for services with people with disabilities, so it's really a broad coalition of providers across the state that are impacted by this. Folks like Productive Alternatives with day programming, group homes, other kinds of waivered services. It impacts a lot of folks. And what's happened is we're in the process over the last several years of redoing the structure of how we get paid. We're going to an individualized rate system as opposed to a daily rate kind of system in terms of how providers like us get paid. And in that process, we've had, there's a lot of moving parts in changing the system like that. It involves the Department of Human Services. It involves the federal Medicare and Medicaid waivered processes. And in those negotiations, we've been working with the legislature as well to come up with a system, a structure that works. And we've run into a snag where because of some of the let's call it miscommunications or differences of opinion between the Minnesota Department of Human Services and the federal Medicare Medicaid waivered services. Some of the dollars, some of the monies that we have been using for the past couple of years to help pay people is in danger of being cut. 7% of the dollars that we're using to structure our services are in danger of being cut here. So we're in a process right now trying to correct that, I guess, and change that because many of us, Productive Alternatives included, have already given out those wage increases. And if we lose 7% of the resources we have available, that's a huge cut to us. So we're working with the legislature and the Department of Human Services and federal Medicare and Medicaid services to try to fix this. But right now it will demand legislative action, and that's really where we're at.
And I think you may have already answered this, Steve, but just in terms of direct impact, how would it directly affect Productive Alternatives?
Wages and services all across the board. The dollars that are in question are really dollars that were delivered to us or that we had advocated for, and the vast majority of those dollars have gone directly to wages and benefits for staff. And like I say, many providers across the state, us included, have used those dollars, already delivered those dollars on the promise, if you will, that they were coming to us. And so wages and benefits is always going to be the major impact for us. But if you take 7% out of any business, it's a big chunk. And so really that would be the primary impact is wages and benefits.
Steve Skalge, Executive Director of Productive Alternatives, an agency in Fergus Falls. I appreciate talking to you today.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.